All right, you may run into a couple of problems that look like this as you're working through that section on evaluating psalms. And so this may be a review for some of you. Some of you may have never seen this before. So we'll take a look at this first problem here. And what we have is the psalm, okay, of 9i. So I is going to represent the integers beginning with 4 going to 16. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to plug 4 in for I, and then 5 in, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 16. And that's what I've done with the numbers written right here, okay? Now this sigma, this Greek letter sigma here, means that we're going to add all those values together. Well, I've done that, okay? And if you add all of these numbers that are written in white, you're going to get 1,170. Okay, so I know that if I just plug these values in and add the numbers up, I get 1,170. But you can imagine that as we're going and plugging these numbers in, you know, I've got us going from 4 up to 16. What if I had us going from 4 to 37 or 4 to 110? Right? So you can see there's got to be a better way, and in fact there is. In your suggested reading, we've got some of these definitions here, and this is the definition, excuse me, I left a little bit out here. This is the definition of the psalm of the n integers, beginning at 1 going to n. If we just take n and multiply it by n plus 1, divide that by 2, we should get the sum of those integers. Now, I want you to see what happens here if we do that. So we have the sum beginning with 4 up to 16 of 9i. So 9 is that constant, and we're going to put it out here, and we're going to replace n with 16 because that's what's up here, right? This is n. So we have 9 times 16 times 17 all over 2. And if you do that on the calculator, I believe you get 1,224, which you might look at that and say, wait a minute, that's not the answer you said we would get. And in fact, you're right, because our formula works when we begin with 1. So in fact, what we need to do is we need to take our sum and we need to say that the sum from 1 to 16 minus the sum from 1 to 3 would equal the sum from 4 to 16 of 9i. So this is just a very complicated way of saying if we will subtract this thing right here from 1224, we should get our 1170. Okay, so in fact we can go do that, right? We'll go and we'll say 9 times, this time n is 3 times 4 over 2. Okay, well, this winds up being 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 6 times 9 is 54. And if I do 1224 minus 54, you bet I get 1,170. So a little tricky there. I do understand that. I wanted to show you that one though because it is something you might come across. This one, okay, is a little different because now we notice that our recursion formula here is not dependent on I. Our recursion formula is dependent on K, and we're going to subtract 3 from that. And here's the other thing. This is a finite sum, okay, which means that we're only adding a certain number, we're only adding a few terms together. The ones that you're going to come across are going to be fairly short like this, and so we can just come in and do 2 times 3 minus 3 plus 2 times 4 minus 3. And we're going to do this all the way up till we get an 8 right there. Minus 3 plus 2 times 6 minus 3 2 times 7 minus 3. We'll scoot the screen over and go 1 more. 2 times 8 minus 3. Okay, really, this assignment is just about laying a foundation for some things that you're going to come across as we develop this idea of the antiderivative more and more. Okay. And you'll see that in the coming sections if you haven't already come across it. And all I'm doing right here is going in and simplifying these values. So 16 minus 3 and 14 minus 3, so forth. So we get 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13. So it's this 8, 15, 24, 35. 35 and 13 is 40, 48, 35 and 13. I always have to double check my addition, so 48 there. Yeah, so again, these are some that you may come across. This is also going to help you out when you get into Calculus 2, if you have to go that far, just kind of seeing this. We do a whole section on this in Calculus 2, and hopefully this will help you make some progress.